Well. If it isn't my. There's Monty. Oops. Monty. Hello. Greetings. Greetings! It has been a long time. It's been a month. I have done some things in this last month. So I went home on break to California. So we went home, then we went to Hawaii to visit Eve, and she was graduating, so we stayed on Oahu. That was pretty fun. But at the same time, it was also like, crap, I forgot how it is to be around my family 24/7. It was kind of just every day there was something new, and my sister was under a lot of stress. So she was kind of just firing on all cylinders, unfortunately, and she's definitely more of a sharp individual, to say the least. And it's kind of she doesn't have as much empathy for other, not empathy in the terms of like she's not empathetic, but she's also just not at like, she could be very like, why don't you do it this way, and not understanding why don't you do it her way, and the way she understands it, and it should be her way type of thing. And being in psychology doesn't help. Um, so it was just kind of stressful, and there was a lot of times where I was just like, man, why are you talking to me this way? Like, I've done nothing to you. So we all talked about it too. Because one day I was just done because I'm like, why are you being mean? I'm not doing anything to you. You're just being mean, you know? But then she apologized and she was receptive. But it was still just stressful. It was just pretty stressful because, like I said, every day it was just something fucking different. But it was fun. I got to see some of the peeps that I've seen in the past. Juliet, Sky, Ando. Met this guy Julian, Eve's other friend Cora. They're all super cool, super cool. Um, and yeah, it was chill. I drank a lot. Yeah, I'm definitely retired again from drinking. I drank a lot, not just in Hawaii, but afterwards as well. I also smoked a lot. I only smoke with my sister, and I smoke like a fuck ton. Smoke so much. Like every night, I was getting fried out of my mind. Because Eve is a stoner, big stoner. Whew. Yeah, that was fun. Uh, let's see what else. I went on a hike with George, which was cool because I've never really just hung out with him by myself. I've never even hung out with Jeffrey by myself, really, ever. So it was just cool, talking to him, getting to know him. Uh, and yeah, it was a good hike. It was really pretty. It was pretty muddy, but it was fun. I had a good time. And then, yeah, speaking of which, our cousins were also there too. George, Jeffrey, Uncle Greg, and I were all there. So we were hanging out with them, and that was pretty cool. Because we've never really done something like that. We got George into the club. He's 15. Come on, ah. That was pretty funny. We just kept feeding him drinks. So that was fun. We got some clothes. Stand-up paddleboarding was cool. Saw lots of turtles. Baby turtles are so cute. And I went to the beach a bunch. It was awesome. I love the beach. Yeah, the beach was great. It was a good time. Just sitting on the waves or on the sand, listening to the waves. It's just ooh, chef's kiss. So then we came back home, and then I went up to Tahoe with Austin and Evan, and that was really fun. Uh, we just kind of hung out. We took some acid one day. That was pretty fun. It was cool showing them acid, and it was just a fun experience. We went on a hike to Fallen Leaf Lake. It was like a 6 mile hike, following Ice Wizard Evan. It was just funny, and we were just laughing so fucking much. Like there's points where I just couldn't breathe because we were just being so stupid. And then I showed Austin, well, and Evan this Grizz song. And I've listened to some Grizz. I didn't really listen to much at that time. Like I had some songs, but I wouldn't really like play them that often. I just had like, you know what I mean? So when I played the song, he's just like, "What is this song? It's pulling me in." He's like a really big house head, and he just got entranced by it. And then so we just continue on the hike, play some more Grizz. I'm like, "Wow, Grizz is actually really fucking good." So I've been listening to a lot of Grizz the past few days because really good. And the lake was just beautiful. It was just awesome. It was such a cool time. And then we were just being goofy. And then at the lake, we were just pretending to be in rust on the beaches, like with a rock, like hitting the tree. It's just so fucking funny how much of a hold that game has on us. Because it's like we don't still play it, but it was just a big part of our high school years. You know, we just play a shit ton of Rust. It's just funny as fuck. And then we watched Smiling Friends, which was cool. Honestly, that acid trip, I felt pretty nauseous at some points. It wasn't super comfortable. Thankfully, I didn't feel like I needed to rip my clothes off, but I just felt like kind of stomach upset, like mushrooms almost, constantly throughout, which was kind of frustrating. On the way back, it wasn't too bad. But on the way there, we also ate. It was a really good sandwich. Uh, and yeah, so it was cool. And then the next day, I convinced them to take mushrooms. I was like, please, I just want to take mushrooms. And then we did the tea method, and that shit like worked, but it significantly reduced the potency because I took like 4 grams, damn near, and I was not fried off my butt. So, anyways, we took them. We go out to the spot. We're like, okay, let's go back and take more. Austin was like, no, let's not take more. Evan's like, come on, it'll be a good time. I'm like, yeah, come on, we got nothing to do. So we went back, we took more. I peer pressure, or Evan and I both peer pressured Austin to take more. He was like, eventually, he was like, fine, like, uh, and then I flipped it and peer pressured Evan to take more, and then I took more, and then I was feeling pretty good. So then we went out, we listened to some music at the high school, we sled it, like we went sledding, and it was just super fun. It was just really cool hanging out with them, you know. And yeah, it was just a good time. It was really fun sledding and just enjoying being outside. Uh, I enjoy hanging out with them. And we got back, and then we were just talking about girls and stuff like that. And then Austin brought up this girl that he like that's been talking to him. And then we got on the topic of doing drugs and all that stuff, and then I just made a comment like, "Oh, you know, wouldn't you want someone that does drugs?" And then they're like, "There's more to life than drugs," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's true." And then I just kind of, I don't know, I just like my drugs, okay? But it is true. Um, there is more to life than drugs, and I don't want to look at be like, "Oh, this person's lame because they don't do drugs," because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Um, yes. So, anyways, I was just like, let me shift my thinking in that way. Yeah. And then Evan showed us this girl he thought was attractive, and I kind of dissed the girl. And I felt bad because I'm like, oh man, I shouldn't have. You know what I mean? And it was like a thing where I was thinking about with Jaden. It's kind of just a constant thing where it's like, I don't really find her attractive type of shit. And I know when he would always do that, it would make me feel a little sad. But then it's just like I'm so used to it, just because it's constant. You know what I mean? Like I show him a girl and he'd be like, no. But then I forgot how that made me feel. So then when I did that to Evan, I didn't realize like, oh shit, like that kind of hurts your feelings. So I just felt pretty bad about that, and I still kind of do, but I'm trying not to beat myself up because I apologize. Um, yeah, but it was a good trip. It was a good trip. Oh, what else? So we went out for New Year's. That was fun. I got like 4 New Year's kisses. Oh, that's right. Um, I kissed a guy. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Went up to him. I was like, "Hey, I never kissed a guy before. Can I kiss you?" And he was like smiling. He was really cute too. He was smiling. He's like, "Yeah." So I kissed him, and then I was like, "Can I kiss you again?" So then I kissed him again. And that was pretty cool. And then I kissed a few other people. It was cool. Oh my gosh! And this one girl I brought back to my place, my parents' house. Um, so I was with Pong, my sister's friend, and my sister and the guy she was with had gone home early, so we kind of just were going on our little side quest with the two girls that were one of them was my sister's friend. So we're hanging out. We go to this other person's house, and one of the girls says the N word, and she's like, oh, everyone at the house was like, no, that's not okay. So it's just funny because I'm like, why would you say the N word around people you don't know? And it was just funny because she's like so tripping about it. And then this other girl's kind of just giving me a hard time the whole night. And I'm just like, At first I was like, okay, whatever, buddy. But then I'm like, wait a minute, why is she so focused on me? Like, this is interesting. So then eventually we go back to my place and we're just all talking. And then I go and sit on the couch because she was like, "Oh, get away from me" at some point, like trying to be a savage. And I was like, "Okay, I'll go sit on the couch by myself." So I went and sat on the couch, and then she like sits right next to me, puts her arm around me, and then I'm just like, what's going on here?" So then, anyways, we're just talking. The lights turn off, and then we start making out. And then, oh my lord, it's just a roller coaster of events from here on out. It's just like you don't want to be doing this, like I'm not a good person. And I'm like, bro, it doesn't matter. Let's just enjoy the night. And she's just telling me I'm not a good person. Like she was saying that herself is not a good person. I'm not a good person. Like blah 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 blah. And then she's like, you're going back to Denver. I won't see you again. My boyfriend died 2 years ago. I was just like, what? So then she'd tell me to stop. So then I'd go to the opposite end of the couch, like, okay, I'll stop. But then she'd freaking grab me back and pull me back in and start touching me again. I'm just like, what the fuck? Yeah, so it's pretty weird. And then, anyways, I guess Pong had thought that I was trying to get her in my room. Never asked her once. And she was coming on to me super hard. So I was just like, I was like, ask her if you have any. If you're like, don't just accuse me. You were also under the influence too, buddy. Um, yeah, so it was just an interesting night. I think we went to bed at like 6 and they left at like 7:30. It was so long. And besides that, just kind of hung out with my family a lot, played video games with Tyler in his room, played some board games, just kind of hung out with everyone. It was nice. It was nice seeing everyone. Uh, yeah, it was just really cool hanging out with everyone. What else? So yeah, so now I'm back in Colorado, back to doing things. I'm probably gonna build my Gundam right now. And then I might go to the art museum later. So yeah. And then I might go snowboarding tomorrow. I'm going snowshoeing on Thursday. So yeah, it'll be fun. Okay, well, nothing much else besides that. Peace out, motherfucker!